Barry posted something the other day about there's a German nationalist party that is number 2 in popularity in the country. You see that Clan Iran started in Ireland, and the Farmers Party in Holland. Like, there's a lot of these things happening in all the European countries. And what do you see happening here? If you were to predict, what would you say the next 5-10 years in Canada looks like?
Chaotic. It's only going to get crazier. Like, so. And this was part of the thing, like you're saying, you're seeing these groups pop up in Ireland. You've got stuff in, different countries, Australia, Italy, Germany, whatever. Political parties or not, or it doesn't really matter essentially what it is. What you need is the cultural gathering point, or, a flag on a hill, kind of to organize people and draw them together in one spot, and then start to build something from that, and then use that to push the cultural conditions and like the Overton window again we talked about, to a situation where change is going to happen whether anybody wants it to or not, because there's just too much pressure. There's too much cultural pressure. It's like putting, the air pressure up too much in a tire. Like, it's going to burst. You can't take forever. It can't go forever. These energy systems have to work a certain way, and if everybody just sits around quietly and accepts it, it'll go as far as they want it to go. They'll take everything from you if you don't stop them. But like you saw with the trucker protest, the pressure of the pot boiled over. You've got the Prime Minister on TV talking about putting people in camps and who's acceptable and what do we do with these people and all this kind of stuff. And that's what happened. The stress levels and anxiety levels were so high that it became nearly a revolt in a lot of senses. It was very polite. It was a very Canadian protest where everybody just showed up and was like, "What are you doing, boy? Frig off! Like, we're going to block the streets and make noise, is right?" And it didn't. Huge an international effect, and definitely stopped dead in its tracks kind of the prison that they're bringing down on top of everybody, and they had to back right off of that, and the passports went away because of that. Like, a lot of things happened because of that. They'll never admit that, and that's what people want to pretend like it was a failure. Like, no, man, it was a huge victory. All those things were coming, and where are they now? They're all gone. And it's because of that, because they know they had to back off because there was so much pressure. Like, you're asking for it now at this point. You've pushed people way too far. And the secondary win there is, people like yourself, so many people that I didn't know. You have different pockets of groups of people, and maybe 2s and 3s or 20 or whatever. Like, we went with our crew of people. I saw what was happening with the truckers and stuff, and I was like, let's go do it. I put out a video just really pumping the tires into it, and they thought it was my idea for some reason, because the videos had a lot of views, and I was like, I'm just watching this like anybody else. This has nothing to do with me. I didn't invent this, right? But we go there with our crew of people and all of our friends and so on, and we meet all kinds of other people down there that are of a similar background or mindset, and now we know each other, and now we have access to each other's contacts and networks and friends, and everything just starts to tighten up. And some people don't work out. You got to weed the garden here and there, but it goes from 1 to 2 to 10 to 1,000 to and basically all the people that care, anybody that was going to show up and at least put their hat into the ring to say, I'm at least not going to sit here and do nothing. We all know who each other are now for the most part. And conversely, the third big win of this, and maybe even more, and most importantly of all, we know who's not going to show up for anybody. And that's the entire political establishment. That's all of your mayors, your politicians. They didn't start this protest. They didn't go down there and freeze their ass off in trucks for weeks on end. They didn't stand there and get rifled in the, batoned in the head and trampled by horses. They're inside hiding in their warm and watching it on TV and getting paid $250,000 to call you a terrorist. So, that can never be undone. They can never make up for that. They can never go back. Like, the time came and went. It's like you had your free throw at the buzzer and you missed it. It's over. You lost. Okay, the people won and you lost, and you'll never get our respect or credibility back ever. It can't happen. Unless there's another crisis and you decide, and then you suddenly decide all of a sudden you're a selfless patriot, and then you're just going to break even, because you're still going to be, well, but there was still the other time. We can never trust these people again. And they want all of our money and support, but they won't sacrifice anything. The best you'll find is, I think Maxime Bernier went to jail for 20 minutes. That's the extent of the pain that our so-called leaders are willing to endure for our behalf, which is laughable. When I was in, basic training, like I said, on my infantry course, I think I was like 17, 18, and practices in infantry, so obstacles on the battlefield to deal with, and one of them is like razor wire, which is what it sounds like. It's wire in circles with razor blades on it, and there's two of them stacked on top of each other, about 2.5 feet high. It's enough that it's like chest high, so you've got two of them on top of each other, and it's like, well, how do you get around this? If you're coming up in an enemy position, there's people shooting at you, like, what do we do? This is what you do. And he throws himself onto it like a human bridge, and then he's like, now you guys run across my back and use me like a bridge to get across the wire, and then you know, and he was covered. He had to get stitches. He was all bleeding. But that was just in training to a bunch of kids just to make a point. And I was like, okay, this guy's ready to bleed for us just to teach us something. That's crazy. That's, you know, I was impressed with that. That made a huge impression on me going forward for the rest of my life. And other NCOs I would meet would have the similar kind of attitudes. Like, I'm not going to make you do something I won't do myself. If anybody's going to bleed, it's going to be me first, because I'm in charge, and that's what's expected. Whoever that guy is, he's like, you're following me. This is my mission, right? This is my mission, right? It's not coming with me. That's great. But, in war, it works in life, because there's no lies in war. There's no, you can't, virtue signal your way around, a sucking chest wound, and you can't wave a pride flag around getting bombed, or, there's no feelings Olympics or anything. It's just what's real, what's not real, what happens, what doesn't happen, what works and what doesn't work. So in that environment, hardcore reality, what works is lead by example, lead from the front. And that's what I took to heart for the rest of my life. And that is not what I see anywhere in this country, anywhere, provincially, federally, nowhere, not one. No one.
I know, I'll take my lashes for